So what we're going to be doing here is building a singles 6v6 Smogon Singles OU team from scratch, showing everything that I like to do in like a notebook, getting all my ideas on paper, and then transitioning that into like building on Showdown. Right? This is something that I do when I have to build all my teams from my YouTube videos. So we're doing the same thing for singles as we did for VGC. We just did VGC a minute ago, so we're going to do one for singles as well. So you got to think, like, what do you really want to do when you're playing singles? What format are you playing? That's the first question you want to ask. Are you playing OU, UU, Ubers, Nat decks? Bunch of different stuff. We're going to be playing OU here. And that doesn't mean that you have to play like super boring mons. I think you can, still use a lot of really cool like UU and RU mons in OU. And you see a lot of different content creators do the same thing. I think Pokemon is a really good example of using like weird bad mons in like any tier and having success. That's because they're like a really good team builder. And while you still need to use some good mons to surround these mons with as like their anchors, there are certain things that I think people are not really respecting when they build their singles teams. Let's just talk about one thing that I'm really comfortable with. One thing that I'm really comfortable with is utilizing Corviknight. I'm going to be utilizing Corviknight in this one, and I'm going to talk about why Corviknight is so good in this format. It's because Corviknight is a really good mon at resetting neutral, right? You're going to be able to come in with this Corviknight and go for a defog. Defog is going to let you, let's just do this on the notes first. It's easier on the notes. So the reason why I like Corv is because Corv is able to reset neutral, like I said. So Corv is able to come in and click defog relatively safely, removing hazards. So it's going to remove like rocks, spikes, and like T-spikes. Also able to remove webs from like sticky webs and stuff like that. So Corv is going to be able always to pivot in, soak some damage, maybe even utilize a Rocky Helmet to come in and soak damage and reply back with damage. It stops people from like U-turn cycling without getting punished from Rocky Helmet chip. It's a decent pivot in on knockoffs and stuff like that. Even though you lose your helmet, they still take chip, which means it would break sash and stuff like that. So Corviknight's a really good mon you can always go to reset neutral. And the way it resets neutral as opposed to just like being a decent pivot is it gets access to U-turn. Corviknight's relatively slow, right? It's relatively slow. It's 67. So you're going to be able to come in, go for something like a defog, maybe weave in like a roost or something like that, and then from there, you turn out into the mon of your choice to repin the mon and give you back tempo. So I really like Corv in this situation. Never played singles is, sorry, I'm just reading your thing. You already answered my question, never mind, well done. Sorry about that, I'm trying to do this while streaming it live, so I'm doing my best here. But yeah, the U-turn is really good, and the thing that sets Corviknight apart from a lot of other mon that gets those options is that Corviknight gets roost. So if your Corviknight's rocking things like your defog, your roost, and then your U-turn to pivot back out, the last thing that I like to throw on Corv is taunt, right? So this is something that only Corv can really do while taking neutralities to stealth rock. The other similar mons that can do this are something like a Mandibuzz, but you're going to have to rock a heavy duty boots in the Mandibuzz, and then if that gets knocked off, you're going to be losing. Corviknight takes neutral damage from rocks because it's a steel flying. So a set like this is going to be really good at just coming in and, helping you reset back to normal, get you out of those bad pins, and it provides really good defensive typing for a lot of mons that might have a lot of weaknesses. If you have weaknesses to fairies, if you have weaknesses to ground, if you have weaknesses to anything that steel will actually resist, you're going to be in a good spot using Corviknight. So that being said, what can we surround the Corviknight with? What mons do we actually want to go out into once we get set with this Corviknight? And I think a good one that we can look for here is going to be something like a Kyurem. I think Kyurem is a good mon to go into. Model how goes it? You'd be really surprised to note that Kyurem is in OU. This is base form Kyurem, and Kyurem can be built a bunch of different ways, right? It can be built physical or special. 95 base speed is above average for a lot of mons. It gets the standard pressure here as its ability, but I think Kyurem is a good mon. I'm going to build it mixed. And what I want to do is like go into this Kyurem over and over again and try my best to just like outvalue what my opponent's doing. It does a really good job about breaking a lot of the walls that would give Corviknight problems. So like water types, if you actually look at what's in the OU tier, Kyurem just is good into it. It's good into Almamola, it's good into Arachnoquid, it's good into Blissey, it's good into like all these walls. And if you can give yourself a way to break other Corviknights, you can actually have like a good matchup with Kyurem into a lot of different stuff. So I think that's actually really good. Now, one thing about Corviknight here is this U-turn and keeping up your tempo. Tempo is going to be more important in singles than in doubles. So we want to add some other mons that can help us keep up that tempo and go for, well, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, but I really like to double dip and double up on the mons and the rolls that I need to work for my teams to work. So in this situation, I don't want to, like, let's say they have like a Moltres or something that would always pin my Corv, like an Iron Moth or something, or maybe you have like a static Zapdos or something that makes it so I can't pivot in my Corv. I want to have other options, specifically a physical and a special option that I can go into and still come in, soak damage, get some healing, and go for a safe, slow pivot out. And so another really good mon that lets us do that is Galar Slowking, right? So Galar Slowking is going to have the Regenerator here, right? And it's going to be able to come in. It can't get rid of the hazards, but it can come in. It gets access to things like Slack Off if I want. But then it gets a really cool move called Chilly Reception, right? Chilly Reception, which is going to be right here, is start snow and then switches out. So it's actually really cool. You see how that's making synergy with this Kyurem as well, giving the Kyurem that defense boost if I want to go into Kyurem. So Slowking is Kyurem's buddy. And it's Corv 2. So it lets me have multiple mons that fill that same role of neutral resetter. That's what I really like about the Slacking, and we don't really need to flesh out its whole set right now, but that's how I like to play it. The last couple things that I like to add on these teams here are other mons that give like additional forms of like aggressive coverage off the rip. I think I would add a Dragapult here. I think Dragapult is a pretty good mon, just for another U-turn pivot mon. Love this kind of content. You missed it when we did VGC a lot more in depth for the first hour before this. We're doing singles right now. But yeah, I really like Dragapult here. So Pult lets us do a lot of damage. So like in some situations, Kyurem's not the mon to go to from the Corviknight or the Slowking pivot, but Pult can come back in. And the good thing about Pult is it is a pivot mon in itself. If you're rocking like a big banded Pult, you can rock something like a big U-turn on it. And so you go right back into your Slowking at a second regenerator proc, and you just cycle between these two. And if they're stuck taking something like Toxic Spike damage, or you're forcing them to pivot more, and there's already rocks them and stuff like that, you're in a really good spot. You see you have your hazard removal, you have your big setup sweeper, you have your banded pivot mon, you have your other pivot mon. You know, you're in a really, really good spot. The next thing you want to add is like our standard hazard user. We're going to use a Blissey here. I like Blissey a lot. Blissey does cover it for the fact that if we combine these two together, we're going to have that defensive boost from the snow. If we're afraid of fighting attacks, we can go here, we can go here. Blissey just fits in this team really, really well with things like Stealth Rocks. And I think it's just a really, really solid mon for this team. And the last mon on this team, now you're maybe thinking like, your team's cool, right? But the best move in singles is U-turn and knockoff. If they send out and they knock off, you're here, 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 you don't have any pivots for good knockoff. I do have a good pivot for knockoff. This one has a little ability here I'll justify. Have a solid knockoff pivot. Not only do we pivot and soak the damage pretty well, but we get a +1 attack boost on top of it. So I really like Terrakion here, because then Terrakion immediately pins them very, very hard. So I think Terrakion is great here. Yes, there's 3 fairy weakness, but we have fairy resist, fairy resist. Fairies are mostly special, right? So this is our core right here, and I think it's really, really good. Blissey is a stealth rocker that has restoration. This thing has restoration. This thing has restoration. We have big sweepers. We should be able to get some good wins with this team. We have solid lead options. We can lead with Corv. We can lead with Slowking. We can lead with Blissey. We can lead with Pult. They are probably respectful of us leading Terrakion with rocks. So, like Sash Terrakion with rocks is a pretty solid lead as well. And so this is an example of a Pokemon that's in the RU tier that like perfectly slots into OU. Let's take a look at like all these things that Terrakion can break a lot of these guys. You gotta be really surprised. And I have some cool ways to play the Terrakion too, because right now all we've done is flesh out the mons, maybe a couple moves. What we're gonna do now is go and flesh out a little bit more of their moves before moving into like talking about the full sets. I'm usually a believer of not saying you have to like finish your Terrakion before doing your Blissey or finish your Pult. You know, we mostly did Corv, but you know, we're not doing that yet. I think Mirror Armor is still good here, but Pressure is also good. They're both good here, especially with the Roost. Pressure can be really good. I'm gonna go with the Mirror Armor though, just for this one. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about this Kyurem. What do we want the Kyurem to do? I think I want Freeze Dry. I think Freeze Dry is pretty important. We can go to the next one. Kyurem can be mixed. It can be both physical and special. Freeze Dry does cover a lot of like these standard mons that are like good in OU right now. Dozo, Arachnoquid, Almamola. It's so good. Viking, how goes it? Sub Roost set goated. In singles? Oh, are you talking about, does this thing get Roost? This guy won't get Roost. I freaking wish, bro. Alright, so this guy has, I don't think we need the Slack off here, because we have Regenerator to cover up for that. I think, like, Toxic Spikes is fine, and I'll just leave it blank for now. Polt, we know we want Dragon Darts. And, not Dragon Dance, we want Dragon Darts. Yeah, it doesn't Nadex. Yeah, it's a different format, because everything got Roost back in the day. So Dragon Darts is good there. And then I don't actually mind going Phantom Force and then U-Turn or and Sucker. I don't really mind those. I think Sucker Punch is still good in some situations. Blissey, I was wondering if I wanted to have Thunder Wave here, and I don't really hate Thunder Wave. But I think what I'm going to do here is go... I don't know what kind of Blissey I want to run, because I like the Special Sweeper Blisseys, but I actually really like this Natural Cure one here. We know we want Soft Boiled here, and we know that we want Seismic Toss. I think I might do like those, and then maybe we'll add in like Ice Beam for Gliscor. Terrakion. Terrakion's a bit of a weird one. We're gonna have close combat, obviously. We're gonna have Stone Edge over Rock Slide because it's singles. Just gotta hit your moves, not hard. I think we also want Earthquake here. I think Earthquake is really underrated on Terrakion. Lets you hit a lot of weird stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to hit. Things like Goldango, eat the fat EQ. And we'll save that boss spot for last. Yeah, you missed it. We already talked about it. We're doing big singles right now. Alright, so that's our set here. We don't really know exactly what else we want out of this set. I'm trying to think. Like, I don't really need to be that fast. I know how I want to play this. Yeah, I got a better idea. Alright, I got a good idea for this one. I'm not going to use Freeze Dry. They're going to be respectful of Freeze Dry. We're not going to use it. I'm going to go Dragon Dance, because I want to set up on. I'm going to go Dragon Dance. I'm going to go with Icicle Spear. And Icicle Spear is going to be there to pin things like Meowscarada. And so it pins Meowscarada. It can pin Darkrai on pivots because Darkrai is commonly Sash. Enamorous is commonly, gets taken out. It breaks Dragonite too. There's a lot of mons that Icicle Spear just messes up really bad. And then from there, we're going to have Earth Power. Earth Power is there to cover things like Goldango. Earth Power is there to cover things like Heatran when you randomly see it. Earth Power covers Glimora, who I think is a big check to this. So I think that, like, I like it a lot. And we're not going to run Loaded Dice. We're probably going to run Heavy Duty Boots on this one. So Slowking. Slowking was a bit of a weird one. I'll go Slack Off here still, just for our testing. And then I'm going to go Flamethrower probably as my last attacking move, just to have, like, some coverage. I don't want the Steel. I don't want the, I don't want Future Sight. Nope. I don't want Future Sight. Future Sight is not how I want to play this team. Future Sight's fine. I don't particularly like it. I like this because you just punish immediately. You could break the sashes immediately. If they have Steel Terror to cover the spikes, you're fine. Future Sight is fine, but when you're like losing already, like, yeah, I think that Future Sight's like the common way to do it, but it's not exactly how I want this team to go. Still thinking of the last move I want here. I'm thinking about Ice Beam, right? I'm thinking about Ice Beam just for Gliscor coverage, because I think Gliscor might be problematic. Heal Bell is another solid option. But let's see, maybe a Light Screen? Do we still get Teleport on Blissey? That would be cracked. I don't think so. Blast them out. Yeah, Heal Bell's fine, but I don't know if we need it. Icy Wind. I'm still thinking. I also like Thunder Wave, but like I'm probably going to be utilizing Slowking. That's like why I'm like, I mean, Thunder Wave's right though. Made my first singles team the other day. Used offensive Grim Sand Houndstone. Ooh, Houndstone with like, are you talking about Battle Stadium singles? I don't hate Rock Tomb. I will just put Thunder Wave for here. Thunder Wave, good. Alright. And then for the Terrakion, let's finish up the rest of these. These last two mons are going to have Terra Blast. And we're going to talk about what their Terras are going to be in a moment. So now that we got all of our moves, we can come up with what we want the rest of the team work. Remember, the whole point is to like synergize between the chili reception with these two. That's how it's going to work. We know we want the Rocky helmet there. We know we want the heavy duty boots here. And I'm going to put heavy duty boots on my Slowking as well. Just because I don't mind having that there. This is going to be a choice band. This is going to be a leftovers. And Terrakion. There's a reason why it's RU. Right? There's a reason why it's OU. Or sorry, RU. And that's because like it gets outsped by like a lot of the faster mons in this tier. Like a lot. So what if there was a way to flip this on their head and be like, actually, I outvalue Dragapult. Actually, I outvalue Zenta. Actually, I outvalue Weavile, Meowscarada, things like that. And there is. So if I come in and soak damage with one of these two, and then I use Chili Reception, or U-turn slow, soak damage, break their sash, come in with Terrakion, Scarf Terrakion. Remember, it's our knockoff pivot too, so we can come in, even if we do come in and pivot on a knockoff, we still outvalue. Like we still have too much damage, right? And so maybe think like, what Tera Blast type will get the pins that we need? So let's just plug in Terrakion here. And let's plug in Pult. I'll plug it on the side. You can't see it on the other side, but it's over there. No, I don't watch regionals. It's not my jam. All right, so we're gonna plug in Tera Blast, and we're gonna plug in the Tera that I like, which is Ice. And you can see that if they lead with Sweep or Pult, they are dead. And so that works against Gliscor. Not fair. I don't think Fairy is the right one. I think you need Ice. Because if we take a look back at this, all right, so we got to think like, what is Terrakion forcing a pivot into? Pult, Landorus, Meowscarada, you know, things like that would be the mons. Gliscor, Great Tusk. Those are the mons that are pivoting on a Terrakion. You're not pivoting in Iron Moth on your Terrakion, right? So that's the thing. It's like they want to bring those mons in to fight Terrakion. So we just outvalue Bolt, you know, like, so it's like, that's how Terrakion works. Tinglu, you know, like Zapdos is one that like you can catch it too if they try and block a close combat or something. Garchomp historically has always been good into Terrakion. So it's like, I think that the Ice Tera also, Ice Tera goes with this thing. Now we got a defense boost on our justified Scarf Terrakion. Like, oh my gosh, no way. Ice? Twice as nice Ice Tera Terrakion? Dang, dude, it's almost like this team has like synergy and stuff. That's ridiculous. It's crazy, right? Let's think about this guy. What Tera Blast do we need here? What are they pivoting in to stop Kyurem? They're going to be pivoting in Almamola, Arachnoquid, Corviknight in some situations. Dango's good. We have Earth Power for that. They're not going to be pivoting in things like Gliscor and Tusk. They're going to be pivoting in those bulky water types. We have Earth Power for Kingambit if we need it. Ice Sphere is neutral there. They might pivot in something like a Prim. Crown could, well, we have Earth Power for Crown if we need it, right? I don't think it's important. Samurot's sometimes good. So I think the Tera here is electric. The water types are the pivot here. Now, I see, like, that's the thing. We have Tera Blast, right? So I think it's yeah, you see what I mean? I don't think either of your choices were wrong. I think that, like, you just have to be more understanding of, like, what mons they're forcing in as their one Kyurem check, right? And so, like, I think the standard ones that you were talking about on the Terrakion and the Kyurem were very normal. They're going to predict Freeze Dry, though. But yeah, but the thing is, though, they're not going to pivot them in on that. So you need to make the read and punish. So this is like having Freeze Dry, but also not having Freeze Dry at the same time, and like still having the coverage for other things. Because like this hits Corv, and Corv's the thing that stops the Kyurem in the first place, in my opinion, right? That's what I like about it. Like, so for example, like Moltres, like you were talking about, they're like, yeah, like they go into the Moltres and they like soak the damage, and it's like, no, you're just gone. Right? So it's like there's a lot of things that like Freeze Dry doesn't work on. So I really like the Tera Blast here, and if we don't need to use it, we don't need to use it. So that being said, those are our Tera Blast offensive types. Let's get some of these EVs done. I don't think I want the Corv to have a lot of speed. I'm going to put 4 points in here just because I don't really mind it. Remember, EVs are different at level 50 than they are at level 100, and I really don't mind having like a very, very aggressive Corv. I usually like to probably drop about 44 points in Spadef, and then, you know what, we're going to drop this down to Yeah, 44 is fine. And then like EVs, like I said, are different at level 50 than they are at 100. Let's just see kind of what happens here when we slide this around. Yep, right. Let's just slide around a little bit. Right there. So that's the bare minimum of what I need. I don't know if I want to do it there. Might want more defense. Let's see what that looks like, and we'll play a few games with it. Kyurem's a bit of a weird one, where I know that I want to outspeed Adamant base 100s. Can you explain the difference between level 50 EVs and level 100? Yeah, so the way EVs work in VGC is the first 4 matter, and then after that, it's every 8. So it would go 4, 12, 20, and that's the difference between the level 50 and level 100. The difference in singles, it's just every 4, right? So it's easier to EV trade in singles. You have a lot more freedom with what you want to do. Versus if this was set at level 50, this would be wasting 4 points right here. Yep. So I got to think, what do I want to do? I'd like to outspeed Adamant base 100s, which is 299, which means we might need to look at something kind of like that lets me outspeed Adamant base 100s. And I don't mind that. I'm trying to think how much damage I need on Earth Power. What are we actually using Earth Power for? What Mons are we... I think that Moth is one. Glamora was the main one. So I'm going to plug in Glamora here. And Glamoras are pretty commonly sash if they're on the lead. But if they're just like a mid-game Glamora, how much damage do I need with Earth Power to KO? So that's going to look something like... Oh, actually, I can make a better Kyurem calc in a sec. So Earth Power. So just automatic, just like absolutely dumpsters it off the rip. And so you see they're different at level 50 and level 100 too. So at level 100, you actually take less damage from things just in general. So no investment, you just KO, even if they're full HP. So if they're like a 252 HP special attack, that's still KO. So like that's fine. You don't even need to have anything. I want to see how much damage we do to Goldango. Because I like to be able to catch it on a pivot. And then 2-shot most Goldango sets. So we do over half to standard sweeper Goldango. So if possible, if we can put like 60 points, that'd be kind of like, we would need that much, 88 points. I don't know if I need to do that, but I think I'm fine with 0, honestly, on the Earth Power. What I actually want to do is plug in a Pult on this right-hand side. I know you can't really see it. We got Dragapult here. So Dragapult gets to... I want to see if I can outspeed Pult. So 421 is Pult's speed. And Kyurem at a +1. I want to see how much I need to outspeed Pult. So we can drop a lot of that out. 224. Perfect. So this lets me go outspeed. We can afford the luxury of full attack Adamant there. And then we just throw the rest of these in various forms of bulk. I think Spadef is going to be more valuable here. But actually, I think defense is going to be nice because we can pair the defense with the Slowking there. So maybe something like... That's probably the right way to do this, if I'm being completely honest. Because we want to be able to use both of these correctly. Okay, I'll try this. If I don't like it, I don't like it, you know? Alright, so Slowking. You can give this guy full HP investment still too, just because it's not that much higher in their respective defensive stats. I want to see where the bump is here. And I want this guy to be... Do I want it to be slower than other Slowkings? I do, actually. I do want it to be slower than other Slowkings. Alright, so let's find the bump. Right there. Cool. And I want to see how much damage Slacking Flamethrower does. Versus, let's see, who would we want to hit with Slacking? Like, obviously, you could say Scizor. I want to see how much damage does a Corv. So, like a standard Corv, like a 252 HP Corv, because, like, a lot of Corvs are built on the physical defensive side. If this is a 3-shot, that's fine. Yep, and it is a 3-shot already, so we don't need to put anything in special attack. Cool. Yeah, I'm good with that. Pult, I do not mind having my Pults be just aggressive. Pussies are very aggressive as well. Or sorry, very defensive. And I usually like putting about 12 points right there. Cool. And then the Terrakion. Terrakion's a bit of a weird one too, where I want to make sure that I'm outspeeding. So I only need to get to 282 to outspeed Polt. But let's think, what are some other mons that could commonly be Scarfed that I would want to outspeed? Obviously, we have to outspeed Polt. But I don't think I need to catch these guys. Zenta, I think I'm just going to outspeed. Mouth is Scarfed a lot. I can't catch that mon, though. So that's like the thing. Like, I can't catch that, right? So, and they could be Scarf, Meow Scarf. I don't really care about that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have, like, 1 speed. Because, like, if I just go 252 here, I actually outspeed, like, Adamant base 100s. Like, I think I can get away with, like, that. Right there. And go 252 Adamant, and then just throw the rest of this up here. And that's probably fine. Yeah, I think that that's fine. We're going to test that for now. Goldango Scarfed a lot too. The thing is, like, this would still outspeed. I'm looking at what my speed tier looks like if I lose my Choice Scarf to a knockoff. And I still want to outspeed base 100s. Lando. Yeah, I still outspeed all these, right? So that's fine. Actually, Lando I could be something. Or wait, Lando Scarf could outspeed. So let's outspeed Jolly Lando T. Yep. So we already outspeed just like Adamant because we have like such a faster base speed. 232. That was close. Right there, outspeeds Scarfed Jolly. Yeah, Scarfed Jolly Lando T. This outspeeds by 2 points. Cool. Awesome. So that is going to be our team. And we should be able to get some wins. So let's go play some games and see how this goes. Let's get our notes up and continue to take So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be forcing our opponents to play at a specific level. So you got Blaziken, Chomp, Meowscarada, Corv, Zoroark, and Rotom. So the good thing about their team is that if Corv has like mirror armor or something like that, Zoroark can be disguised as anything. So I need to be respectful of the Zoroark from the rip, and I bet it's going to be Scarf. So we're going to be respectful of Scarf Zoroark. Right? So we need to be respectful of that, which means we need to lead to something that doesn't just like lose to that. So like if I lead like Corv, they could go like Scarf respects Flamethrower, I'd be really sad. If I lead Polt and Sucker Punch, that will always check. So that's something worth talking about. I think also that leading Blissey isn't bad because Zoroark doesn't really pin Blissey that hard. And if they want to knock off the Blissey, I can pivot in the Terrakion. So I think that Blissey is probably my best lead here. Blissey, I don't really care if Rotom goes into it. This is fine. Blaziken should be no problem. This could be Zoroark or Blaziken. I don't mind the pivot here. Let's see what they want to do here. Zoroark? Focus Blast. No. And that is Zoroark, by the way, because it does not get the speed boost, unless there's some sort of weird Sash Blaziken. So since we know that that's Zoroark, we're assuming that they're choiced or specs. We're going to be able to tell based off what they want to do here. We are afforded the luxury of using whatever move we want here. So we can go for Dragon Darts. They can pivot in Corv. We can go U-turn. They can pivot in Corv. We'll take a Rocky Helmet tick, and then we'll repin with one of our Mons. I think that we can pivot in here probably. I think I'm going to U-turn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to U-turn here. I'm just trying to talk about the options. U-turn is good. So Zoroark's going to take some damage. They're going to be using Focus Blast, most likely. They could be Shadow Balling, though. I don't care if Blissey eats a Focus Blast, so go for it. Yep, so they're not choiced. And so I don't need to respect it. They're probably sashed. And they scooped. Yep, awesome. Cool. Easy peasy. Game 1 in the books. Yeah, Zoroark's a bit of a weird one, you know. I really like Zoroark as well. But once you know what the Zoroark is like trying to do, you can massively outplay it. Cricketune. Okay. Como is respectful. So Como, Dirge. Remember, they banned Yawn. So Terrakion. Zong. Rilla. And Tox. Kind of weird, right? Yeah, I think that they have the Endeavor there. The webs there are problematic. Like, we have Corv to be able to check it. I don't mind leading Corv in this situation because Corv can U-turn versus all those except Tox. You just pivot, you hard pivot Blissey. Awesome. So we could go Taunt, Defog, U-turn. They're gonna be faster. They're gonna get the E-web up. I'm gonna go Taunt. I'm gonna Defog. I'm gonna pivot. Oh, pivot in Bronzong on the Taunt. Like, yes, please. Mantle Herb, how about we take 2 of those? Alright. Can't use Iron Defense. Cool. So let's think of what they're going to do. Are they going to Body Press? Are you going to Hard Pivot? I mean, U-turn's the right play, but I'm thinking who I want to go into. Because you have all the time. I think people forget that you can just take like a lot of your time to like do whatever you want. U-turn's good. Do we see Helmet? No. Okay, we are going into Slowking, because Slowking would, in some situations, it would underspeed. So we come in, soak the damage here. Jolly Press, yep, awesome. So we can get up a set of Toxic Spike, but then that would make them go into Tox. We could also just do this. I will use 1 Flamethrower. I'm not, like, pressed. Actually, I'm going to get 1 Spikes up. Perfect, bro. That's so good. So 1 set of spikes. And the Dirge. So Blissey can be sometimes a good matchup in a Dirge. Pult can be good in the Dirge sometimes. Kyurem is usable. I'm just going to go for a Chilly Reception here. And then I'm going to bring in probably like Terrakion and EQ out. Shadow Ball's completely fine. We can soak that damage. You got Torch Song? Or whatever, Throat Spray thing? Guess not. Pult's fine, actually. I will force your Terra here, sir. I could do this and just force the Terra. I think I could. But, why don't I do that, then? I mean, he didn't Terra. That's absolutely fine with me. Yep. Free rocks. Here's the Tox. Get rid of the hazards, but there's new hazards. See, like, all that was just to bait the Tox on the board. And then in this situation, I don't really think that we're like in that much of a bad situation. I'm gonna go for 1 toss. Volt Switch is fine. You can come back with your Dirge, but like now there's rocks up, and so you're gonna have to show off your heavy duty boots or something else. And you can come on Bronzong, like that's why I have like Ghost Terror to stop body press strats. So far they're actually playing this pretty well, but we basically have like a 1-turn advantage, so we're just leveraging that 1-turn advantage like over and over and over again. That Tox might be Scarfed. Rilla, awesome. So we're going to see if they're lefties. Oh, it's Grassy Seeds. So Grassy Seeds, Rilla, usually don't have U-turn. So it's probably some sort of weird setup set. I'm going to go to the Corv. Yep, there's the Fake Out, Rocky Helmet. Alright, so Fake Out, Grassy Glide, Wood Hammer, and then I'm assuming High Horsepower. Because otherwise you get wall by Dango. Like High Horsepower / Knockoff. Cool. We can go for Taunt. We can go for U-turn. Taunt is good. Taunt is good because it makes it so when you get that situation, I could have U-turned, right? I like the Taunt here. Because if I U-turn you went in the Bronze, I'm going to have to go into something weird. But I like the Taunt here because it makes it so whatever comes in, it has to be a damage dealer. Which means we just go right back into this and we're good to go. And see, now we're caught in a situation where like they're taking a ton of rocks damage on things, and we're just in like a fine spot. I don't really think there's like a problem here. We could low-key click Thunder Wave until they pivoted in something else, because like they will never do more damage to us. Like you see what I mean? You see how it works? Thunder Wave, let it rip, bro. Oh my gosh, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like you have every one of their mons pinned with that, and so now we can just pivot again. Probably go right back into... These are both good here. I'm going to go into the Slowking, though, instead of the Corv. Here, we take those. I can set up another set of Toxic Spikes. I think I'm just going to Chilly Reception. Clang Soul these, bro. Oof. Throat Spray, cool. Standard. We don't have their physical or special yet. This would force a Terra. This isn't really required yet, but I think that it's still good. I mean, we would KO probably. I'm gonna go with the Pult. I'll force the Terra. Pult's like not required in this matchup. And then once we pin them down, we'll be able to know the right one to come out with. Oh, they're just dead. Cool. So like what, 15 turns to get our first KO, and then they just scoop. You know what I mean? Like, so easy peasy. Like, we just never let them in, right? We just never, ever, ever let them in. This is pod racing, right? This is how it works. Ooh, they hit me with the Gen 4 singles, but with an Incineroar, right? So T-Tar. Gengar. Incin. Gyara. This Slowking's gonna eat the freaking Scizor, right? And Zap. So let's try and just get some items here. This is gonna be, I think this should still be sashed, and I think they might lead. And then in Sin, I have no clue how they're building it. I think Orb is pretty common. That's my guess. Gyarados is going to be Boots. Scizor is... Scizor could be Boots, but Orb, lefties, is solid. And it's going to have Defog, I'm sure. And then Zap is going to be Boots. T-Tar is going to be either Bulk or Sash. If they lead T-Tar, it could be a couple different things. I'm going to lead with Corp here. If you would like to lead Zapdos, I go into Blissey. And Sin off the rip. Yo, the Mirror Armor! Absolutely bodied, bro. Straight up. Never get wrecked again. I'm going to go right to the Terrakion here. Show me that knockoff. Show me that Flare Blitz. Oh, value. Oh my gosh. So much value. And they are orbed. Damn, how good am I? Called that. Right there. Woo! Alright. That's a lot of, this is a lot of damage. You can go into Gengar. So the good thing is, we pin a lot of these mons off the rip. And you're not going to be pivoting into something like a Gyarados or a Zap to stop this. So we're just going to go for a solid EQ. Oh my god, they did. Why the fuck was that, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? You are crazy, my guy. Yeah, you're going to pull here. That was nuts. Maybe I should have clicked Rock Slide. That was weird, though. Yeah, Dragon Dance is fine. We need to just double dip. Get him off the board. That's why I had to go right into the Pult. If they're not made right, we still outspeed. Actually, we just outspeed. Like, I'm Dragapult, bro. You're done, Zode? Yep, then that was like a main threat. So they're gonna come in with something to pin the Dragapult. Incin don't do it. Scizor could come in and get some value here, but we would just hard pivot to Corv, and then they have, if they Swords Dance, like, I think we have the checks. No, maybe not. If they send out Scizor, I'm gonna Dragon Darts it. Because, like, we just need to stop them from sweeping at this point. There's the T-Tar. Yeah, I don't care about Dragon Dance T-Tar. I can come in with the Corp there. Crunch. Oh, yes. Cool. Mirror Armor? Damn, never lucky. Alright, lefties T-Tar. Awesome. So they're not gonna worry about policy. You can have rocks. Pivots in the Incin. Gets another stat drop on himself. Stop hitting yourself, bro. And now that the, like, honestly, like, I can just full send the Stone Edge. Should've just did it the first time. Stone Edge is good against all their mons. Now that I know their T-Tar is not some sort of setup set, like, Terrakion just cleans it. Bro, what do you think's gonna happen? It's Terrakion, bro. Get out of here. What do you do, Gengar? Now I can click the EQ. Just wrecks the, like, the whole, everything just falls apart. Yeah, we full send this. It's probably sashed, but... Oh, man. Sandstorm's gonna... Oh, Curse Body never lucky, bro. Curse Body never lucky. Terrakion gets a Spadef boost from the Sandstorm. Thank you, my guy. And he takes Orb damage. Cool. Gengar 3. Alright, so we're gonna have to pivot here, which means they have a shot to set up with, like, one of their mons. Scizor is the perfect mon here. I think you just go right up to Slowking. Because they'd have to attack the Slowking with something, like, really valuable. Quick, that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. We take these. Cool. Singles gaming, it's so fun. There's not that much they can do. They can pivot the T-Tar, but then I'll just chill reception. Yep, that's fine. And then we go into Kyurem, I think. No, we can just go into a Terrakion, I think. Terrakion should just be able to fold that out. EQ, EQ, EQ. Oof, nice EQ. Good job. I still get to go into Terrakion, though. Actually, like, bruh. Hell yeah, dude. I ain't doing anything else today, bro. And so if you send out Scissor, you can Quick Attack. I don't even think I die. And, if, you know what it does? It stops you from clicking Swords Dance, right? And then it's fine. And then we can just come in with Pult and Sucker Punch you from there. Awesome. So let's see what they got. BP? Yep, there's the BP. Absolutely acceptable. So we're running out of mons that can do good damage to this guy, but like at the same time, like I still have my Tera. Alright, I don't have Tera, sorry. I think I can eat one Bullet Punch is my thought here. Yep, Bullet Punch, we eat one. Just get some good damage, and now we put it in for Pult. Pult just gets it. Yeah, sloppy at the end. For some reason I thought I had Tera. I forgot to double dip the Dragon Darts. Yep, BP's fine. This could get dicey. Nice. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, what's the play here? Yeah, now that's fine. Because now Corp checks it. They're going to have to hit us eventually. If they roost here, I think we're fine. Yeah, this probably just KOs them, in all honesty. Yeah, it's too much damage. Awesome. Cool. Easy peasy. Let's do another one. Alright. Goldango, Glim, Valiant, Samurott, Roaring Moon, and Dragonite. So I think the Goldango is going to have, I'm going to guess lefties. I think it's like Orb and Air Balloon are a possibility. Glim is going to be lefties or Sash. Balloon, I wrote down the Balloon for the Dango, yeah. Valiant is going to have Sash or Booster. Samurott could be AV or Sash. Roaring is going to be Booster or Scarf. And Dragonite is going to have Boots. Right, so I think actually Kyurem is a good lead here. Because it's like, you're dead. I ain't doing anything else today, bro. If you want to be Sash, that's fine. Flip turn. Cool. You know what I'm clicking, bro. Send it. This could be Scarf, too. That's fine. Toxic Freeze. Oh, no, not Toxic. Oh, they're red card. Wow. That's fine. I like Phantom Force here over the Dragon Darts because I don't want to get locked into pin on the Valiant. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm fine with U-turn. I forgot that they actually got the poison on me since I hit them with the Kyurem and then got like immediate poison on my pull. That's really obnoxious. I don't want to Phantom Force while poisoned. U-turn's good. So let's see what they got. There's not that many mons that pivot back in on the U-turn, honestly. Like, you could pivot in your Valiant, but then, like, it'd lose its Sash. And then, like, what? We can just come in with Corv? We're probably fine coming in with Corv there. Now let's just see what they got. And Spiky Shield's not that common in singles, so it shouldn't be. If anything, I think they're going to Stealth Rocks us, and so that's why we want to go into the Corv. So if they stay in with this Glim, we go into Corv. If they go into Valiant, we could also go into Corv. It's not the end of the world. One thing that's lame is they know that our Kyurem's physical because we, our Tera Blast gave a Toxic Spikes, a Toxic Debris tick. They're big thinking here, though. Good news for us is, like, Dragonite doesn't want to deal with losing a multi-scale, and Roaring Moon and Samurott don't want to deal with the U-turn here. So they got to think about it. What if they went like Grass Terra? That'd be hilarious, dude. Like Grass Terra just get dump trucked. They try to make like a read that we bring in something weird. Yeah, it's fine with me though. That's a good like flow chart though that they lead the Samurott. It's probably Scarp flip turn. 5 seconds left. What do you got, buddy? Oh, they just scoop. Ah, works for me. Pelipper, Toad, Deoxys, Tinglu, Bannet. Bannet's weird. And Barraskewda. So I'm wondering what the Pelipper is going to be doing here. I think they're going to lead Tinglu, so I'm just going to lead Corv. Corv's just good into Deoxys as well, if there's Deoxys. So this guy's usually sashed. We're just going to go for the U-turn. We can go for the taunt defog U-turn play. Let's actually just try the taunt. He taunts me first. Whoa, he's going to rocks me here. Okay. He's clicking teleport. Whoa, he's clicking teleport. Why are you clicking teleport? Trick Room. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think that really matters. Weird. Yeah, I'm not afraid of this thing. Yeah, SD's fine. I couldn't taunt it before anything weird happened. Break Sash. Dunzo. And that's game. Cool. Easy peasy. Sucker Punch is good on Pult. Like, I've been saying it the whole time. I think it's, like, really, really good. Alright. So we got Breloom, Goldango. Goldango's hiding back there. Metagross. Sin, Venusaur, and Dragonite. So Dragonite's gonna have Boots. Breloom's gonna have Sash. Goldango could be Orb, Lefties, or a Balloon. I don't think it has to be Scarfed. I'll write it down there though. Metagross is... I think Metagross could have an aggressive item, but I also think, like, Lefty's Agility is worth respecting. And Sin's probably Orb. And Venu... I like AV Venu, but let's just see. So, let's see. What's the right lead into all of these? I don't think Corv's bad. I'm gonna with Cure him, though. Because if they lead Bro, we just pin it. There it is, bro! Alright, yeah. You, Terra, you can... Are you Scarfed? Metagross could be AV as well. I think that Lefties is worth... I think that, like, I don't need to respect AV, right? But I need to respect Lefty's agility, right? Okay, can I get a 3-hit, please? Let's go! Cool. Awesome. Let's see what else they got. What else do you have? It's Incineroar. You're clicking Flare Blitz, you're clicking Knockoff, you're clicking Parting Shot, you're clicking... all the things Terrakion blocks. EQ, oh dude, the reads, dude. What a savage outplay. I don't need to click Close Combat there. We don't need this more. Yep. Did you think I was going to pivot or something? Cool. Handwriting. Do I have a doctor's handwriting? I don't know if that's a thing. Alright. Sunny Day's fine. You can Weather Ball. Solar Beam. That's fine. That's a crit, bro. You're weak. You need more hatred. You can pivot Goldango. Goldango's not a problem. We have to be Goldango with Terrakion and Pult. He can grow. Sword now. He's stuck. He doesn't have room for Sunny Day and that, right? So now we're fine. Whoa! Just use growth, bro. What? Bro. Swords Dance Solar Beam, huh? That's the tech? Bruh. Bruh, what are you doing? I want to actually know what the hell they're doing. You know, hard charge out Solar Beam, Bodhi? Oh my gosh, we're never gonna get to know. I want to see what he does. EQ, hat. You can't hit me, bro. Bro, you can't see me, bro. All right, are you earthquaking? Are you sunny dang? You're sunny dang. That's funny. Solar Beam. Ah, he's hard charge. Oh, yeah. Oh, he has a power herb, dude. He has a power herb. Dude, what an absolute Chadwick over here. That's so funny. Yeah, here's a Dragonite. You're dead. You can go like some sort of weird Terra. I don't really care. Metagross Gholdengo. We can just double Phantom Force win this one. Oh my gosh, what a way to win that one out. Yeah, you predicted Growth and it was far sinister. I know, like, Growth would have actually made sense. Like, he'd have been like +6. I was gonna let him have it, you know? But he showed SD. I was like, I don't really care about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to go check out the Singles channel, we're only 23 subs from getting this channel partnered, so think about checking it out. And while you guys are around, this is your reminder that the SPL started today. Right? The SPL, it started, it's up. You can go watch your boy play with some good stuff in the SPL against I think one of the better teams in the first round. So yeah, go check that out. And I'll be back next time. Peace out. I'll see you guys in a bit.